The restaurant buzzed with the warmth of a sunny Saturday afternoon, sunlight pouring through the tall windows and painting golden patterns across the tables. Owen Mercer adjusted the sleeves of his blue shirt for what felt like the 100th time, wondering why he had agreed to this blind date. Across town, his 7-year-old daughter was spending the afternoon with her grandmother, believing her father was simply meeting an old friend. Owen wasn't ready to tell her he was trying to open his heart again after years of loss. He had promised himself he would never let anyone replace the woman he had loved, but loneliness had a quiet way of creeping into even the strongest hearts. Then the impossible happened. Before the woman sitting across from him could even finish introducing herself, someone pulled out a chair at their table. Owen looked up, and his entire world froze. It was his boss. The man who had spent months criticizing his work, questioning every decision he made, and reminding him that personal problems had no place in business had just calmly sat down beside them with an unreadable expression. Before we continue this emotional journey, please take a moment to like this video, comment where you're watching from, share it with someone who believes in kindness and second chances, and subscribe to Compassion Tales. Your support helps us bring more heartfelt stories to life. Owen had spent the last 4 years raising his daughter, Hazel, alone after losing his wife to a sudden illness. Every morning started before sunrise as he prepared breakfast, packed school lunches, braided Hazel's messy hair after watching countless online tutorials, and hurried to his office before anyone noticed he was always the last employee to arrive. His co-workers admired his determination, but few understood the exhaustion hidden behind his tired smile. The only person who truly knew was his longtime friend, Rowan Ellis, who had watched Owen slowly disappear into work and responsibility. Rowan refused to let his friend spend another year believing happiness belonged only to the past. Without asking permission, he secretly arranged a blind date with someone he believed would understand Owen's life better than anyone. That woman was Mara Sinclair, a pediatric physical therapist whose kindness had become famous among the families she helped every day. She wasn't looking for perfection. She was looking for honesty. When Rowan described Owen as a devoted father who had forgotten how to smile, Mara quietly agreed to meet him. She expected an awkward lunch filled with polite conversation. Instead, she found a gentle man whose eyes carried years of grief but still softened whenever he mentioned his daughter. Their conversation had barely begun before everything changed. Owen's boss, Victor Hargrove, stood beside the table with an expression neither angry nor friendly. He simply asked whether he could join them for a moment. Owen felt every muscle in his body tighten. His first thought was that he was about to lose his job. Victor had always seemed cold, demanding impossible deadlines and expecting absolute perfection. Seeing him here felt like a cruel joke arranged by fate itself. The silence stretched across the table until Victor finally admitted something Owen never expected to hear. He revealed that Rowan had invited him. Months earlier, Victor had discovered Owen quietly leaving work during lunch breaks to attend school events and hospital appointments for Hazel. Instead of asking for sympathy or special treatment, Owen always worked late into the evening to make up every missed minute. Victor had watched this without saying a word, believing professionalism meant never showing emotion. But recently, after becoming the guardian of his teenage nephew following a family tragedy, he finally understood how difficult single parenthood truly was. Victor confessed that he had judged Owen unfairly because he had never experienced that kind of responsibility himself. Now he realized that Owen wasn't distracted. He was carrying 2 full-time jobs, being a father and providing for his child. Rowan had convinced Victor that if he truly respected Owen, he should stop hiding behind authority and finally apologize. The apology stunned the entire table. Owen had imagined many endings to his difficult relationship with his boss, but hearing sincere regret was never one of them. Victor admitted that the company had recently been discussing promotions for department managers, and Owen's name had almost been removed because executives believed he lacked commitment. Victor stood before them and confessed that he had been wrong. Instead of removing Owen from consideration, he had personally recommended him for the position after seeing his resilience, honesty, and work ethic. For the first time in years, Owen felt someone had noticed not only his mistakes but also his sacrifices. Tears threatened to fill his eyes, but he simply nodded, unable to find the right words. After Victor quietly left the restaurant, the atmosphere slowly relaxed again. Mara smiled gently, not because of the promotion, but because she had witnessed a man who never demanded recognition finally receive it. She didn't ask painful questions about Owen's past. She listened as he described Hazel's dreams of becoming a veterinarian, the bedtime stories they invented together, and the tiny traditions that kept his late wife's memory alive. Instead of feeling uncomfortable, Mara admired the love that still surrounded his family. Over the following weeks, friendship grew naturally between them. Mara never tried to replace anyone. She simply became another caring presence in Hazel's life. She attended school art fairs, cheered during soccer matches, and laughed at Hazel's endless imagination. Owen noticed something remarkable. His daughter, who had once hidden behind sadness, was beginning to laugh more often. Their home slowly filled with warmth that had been missing for years. Even Victor changed. He introduced flexible schedules for working parents throughout the company, proving that leadership could include compassion without sacrificing excellence. Employees who had once feared approaching management suddenly found understanding instead of judgment. Owen's story quietly transformed an entire workplace. Months later, on another bright afternoon, Owen stood in the same restaurant where everything had begun. Hazel sat beside him happily drawing pictures while Mara helped color the flowers. Rowan smiled from across the table, proud that one simple invitation had rewritten several lives. Victor arrived carrying a small gift for Hazel, no longer just the intimidating executive everyone feared but a man learning that kindness could become the strongest form of leadership. Sometimes life doesn't send miracles wrapped in perfection. Sometimes they arrive disguised as uncomfortable moments, unexpected apologies, and strangers willing to believe in people who have forgotten how to believe in themselves. Owen had walked into that restaurant expecting an awkward blind date. Instead, he walked out with renewed hope, restored dignity, and the possibility of a future brighter than he had ever imagined. If this story touched your heart, please take a moment to like this video, leave a heartfelt comment, share it with someone who needs hope today, and subscribe to Compassion Tales for more emotional stories that remind us kindness can change lives. Sparkling Heart special request: before this story ends, please comment, "Everyone deserves a second chance." Your words may inspire someone reading the comments who is struggling to believe tomorrow can be better. Because sometimes one unexpected seat at the table isn't there to ruin your future, it is there to begin it.